morning, and thank you for being here. The first thing I want to say is I appreciate the tremendous support that I've received across our city. I deserve to be reinstated as Chief of Police immediately by the City of Oakland. It's a matter of justice, it's a matter of due process, and it's a matter of fairness. It is also an issue of justice and fairness for the people and community of Oakland to have me at the helm of the police department to protect public safety and provide leadership and stability for the Oakland Police Department. I want the public to know that I followed all policies, protocols, and procedures in the two incidents that are detailed in the recently released summary report. In the first incident, where an officer hit and damaged a parked vehicle in a garage, we took action against that officer, and that officer was held accountable. In the second incident, in which the officer discharged a weapon in the elevator, OPD had begun its investigation following every policy and procedure. We had begun an administrative and criminal investigation when the officer admitted his involvement in the incident. I placed that officer on administrative leave as a result of that. But neither the department nor myself as Chief of Police ever had the opportunity to actually participate in the investigative or disciplinary process because it was adopted by the Federal Monitor, who took the investigation out of my hands so he could handle it himself. Therefore, my ability to hold the officer accountable and engage in due process was taken away from OPD. It should be reinstated that I should be the Chief of Police. I should remain in my position, and I did nothing wrong. I violated no policies. There's nothing written that mandates that I review a report. I can't investigate a crime that happens in another city. I'm responsible for the city of Oakland. These sustained findings don't have evidence to support them. And I want the community to know that this is not about an incident where officers were behaving poorly or a systemic problem. These officers are human beings. People are going to make mistakes. And I think I have a proven track record of holding people accountable. As the Chief of Police in Oakland for the last 2 years, we've gotten 8 tasks into full compliance. Every report pushed out by the Federal Monitor has indicated the progress that the department has made. We were put into sustainability in June of 2022 with an anticipated ending date of June 1st of 2023. We are 5 months away from that date. This department has changed. This department is not engaged in misconduct, and this department does have the ability to investigate itself. But we will never be a department where officers don't make mistakes. That's the question. Do we have a willingness to hold ourselves accountable? And I believe I have demonstrated that I am willing to hold people accountable and have held people accountable. But I can only do that when I have the information that I need in order to make those decisions. With that, I'll pass it to my attorney.
I'd like to echo some sentiments of others in the community who commented.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you.
My name is Will Edelman. I'm Mr. Chief Armstrong's attorney, representing him in this matter with the city. I just want to echo briefly some comments made by others speaking in the community who have recognized quite clearly that the Federal Monitor in this case has a very clear self-interest for doing what he's done in making this, creating a crisis which would, if he's successful, extend the monitorship in a contract where he earns quite a bit of money. It doesn't reflect on the chief's past performance. He deserves to be reinstated. With that, I think we're ready for questions.
Chief, you didn't do anything wrong. What are we doing here?
Phil, I've wondered that for the last several days. Why are we here? I think, like my attorney said, I believe there's ulterior motives as to why we're here. This department has been working hard. The officers in the Oakland Police Department, whom I'm extremely proud of, have been working hard. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have misconduct. It doesn't mean that every officer is going to be perfect every day. But we have processes in place to hold those officers accountable. We're talking about a minor vehicle collision. We're not talking about a scandal. This is not a scandal.
Were you given an opportunity to respond to the report before it was made public?
I was not given an opportunity to respond.
And Chief, your attorney just alluded to it, but we need you to say it specifically. Talk about the monitors in your written statement provided by Sam. Financial self-interest, extending lucrative, tell us about that part, please.
Well, clearly, there's a motivation here. Clearly, if the judge were to accept this report as it's written, it could potentially lead to an extension of our compliance, our NSA oversight. That is problematic for the city of Oakland, the residents of Oakland, and it doesn't really highlight the work that has been done over the last 2 years to get us to the point of finally being out of the negotiated settlement agreement. Our police commission is prepared to step in and oversee the department. This, to me, clearly is a last-ditch effort to destroy the credibility of me, destroy the credibility of this department, and to make the community believe that, again, OPD is involved in some shady business, and that's not what this is.
Chief, you talked about the motivation of the federal monitor, but it was the mayor who placed you on administrative leave. What's her motivation here?
I don't think that the mayor has motivation. I think that the monitor clearly communicated with the mayor what he would like to be done. And I think the mayor followed the monitor's recommendation. I mean, it's hard to say a mayor that just have been in the seat for a couple weeks would truly be able to push back against the monitor at this point. But I think for those that have been around here and have seen many chiefs fall, the common theme when those chiefs fall is that it comes based on the monitor's recommendation.
So it sounds like you don't blame her.
Well, I don't blame her for these actions because the actions came from a recommendation from the monitor. If you don't have the report, which brings forth information that is inaccurate, information that is not consistent with providing clear evidence, then I think you put a mayor in a very difficult position. It is a report that is unfair to have to look at, even as I read it. And so I understand the position that she was put in.
Chief, if you're truly saying that the monitor is acting in self-interest, the next logical step then is what? Should there be some consequences for the monitor if you truly are accusing them of acting in their own self-interest for payment?
I'm saying that somebody has to investigate the issues related to this incident because I know that I did nothing wrong. And for me to have to fight to remain chief of police is unfair. It's unfair to me. It's unfair to the citizens of Oakland. I was born and raised in Oakland. Everybody that knows me and covered me knows I'm passionate about Oakland. The idea that somebody would take this opportunity to try to ruin the long history that I have in the city is really offensive. And it's not only offensive to me, it's offensive to Oaklanders. And tomorrow, Tuesday, at 12th and Fallon at noon, I think our community will come out and stand up and say that. This is offensive to Oakland. And as an African-American chief who's trying to change the way this police department works in this community, it's offensive.